She is a former beauty queen living the good life, but when some clever and ruthless criminals lured her into a trap, her life was shaken. Inside Edition, straight ahead.
We got the story.
Next flight to Chicago. We gotta go live.
When this couple got a phone call about their lost puppy, they were ecstatic.
We basically ran out of the house to go pick up the dog.
But when they got to the house where the dog was, they found out it was a doggone trick.
So we walked in and two men appeared, all in black with ski masks and guns.
Today, how a clever con cost this couple almost $500,000.
We're going in.
The world is an exciting place of new sights and sounds. But for these two boys, it had been nothing but silence until they had an amazing operation.
More than anything, what do you want?
For them to call me Mom.
Now we check up on the boys for whom each new sound is music to their ears.
Just one question.
It's spring and Hollywood's getting married. This weekend, Harry Connick Jr. serenaded his supermodel down the aisle. 90210's Jenny Garth married her man, and Dudley Moore fell head over heels for his new bride. 2, 1. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching Inside Edition today. Well, it is spring and some big Hollywood names are getting married. One of them is Dudley Moore, who just a few weeks ago was in trouble for fighting with his girlfriend, who is now his wife. We will try to sort things out for you coming up. But first, a new, very frightening criminal technique. If you have money, be careful. You may be under surveillance. Sophisticated criminals are targeting successful people like a former Miss Arizona. Jeff Cole with our report.
They have guns, they're all in black with ski masks, and they want what you have. And if you don't give it to them, they threaten to execute you.
When you're a woman of means and you live in luxury, there are few things which money can't buy. One of them, however, is your safety.
I realize now that if they want to get you, they're going to get you, and it doesn't matter who you are. You can be President of the United States.
Meet former Miss Arizona, Cece Doan, who thought she was immune to big city crime until December 10th. That's the day she and her husband James, an investor, fell victim to the most terrifying experience imaginable in a wealthy suburb near Phoenix, Arizona. It all started when their puppy, Greta, disappeared.
She was only 5 months old, and I was extremely upset, and we went all over that evening. We couldn't find her.
A few days later, they got a phone call. Someone had found the dog. It was about 7:30 on Friday night.
I was ecstatic, and I gave the phone to my husband. He took down the name, the phone number, the address, and we basically ran out of the house to go pick up the dog. And I grabbed a bottle of champagne to give to the lovely people who had found our dog.
They got into their Rolls Royce and headed over to a home which, as it turned out, belonged to a woman who was on vacation. The robbers had staked it out and then made themselves at home, apparently for a few days.
We rang the doorbell, and a voice said, "Come on in, we're on the phone." And we walked right into the home.
The Doans expected their drama to have a happy ending. Instead, they walked right into a trap. The dog had been kidnapped. They had been tricked.
So we walked in, we were all the way in, and turned around, and two men appeared, all in black with ski masks and guns.
Well, they said if we didn't do what they told them to do, that they were going to execute us, and they said that no one knew we were there.
Cece and James were bound hand and foot. The robbers pointed guns at their heads. They knew so much about the Doans, Cece and James were convinced this was no random crime.
They asked me the combination to the two safes. They knew we had two safes.
They had been thoroughly briefed. They knew what to ask for. They were very smooth. They knew exactly what they were doing.
The robbers forced them to give up the security code for their elaborate alarm system. The Doans quickly knew exactly what the thieves were after.
Because I heard them on the walkie-talkie. She doesn't have the ring on. My husband had just bought me the most beautiful diamond ring. It was a 9, almost a 10-carat diamond, and it was just beautiful.
What was going through your mind at this point?
Well, what was going through my mind is I thought it would be nice to live a little longer.
2 men held the couple at gunpoint while 1 or 2 accomplices stole their Rolls Royce, drove it to the Doans' home, and looted their 2 safes. They got the ring along with cash and other jewelry, totaling nearly $500,000.
It was just very sad. All the things that I was saving for my children, like my mother saved for me and her mother before her, things that could not be replaced.
4 hours after the couple's ordeal began, the robbers left them alone in the house, still tied up. The Doans managed to free themselves and run to a nearby house, where they called the Paradise Valley Police. Lieutenant Ron Warner says he quickly connected the crime to a string of some 13 similar robberies in the area over the last 5 years, all of which have remained unsolved and have netted thieves a lot of money.
We're probably in the area of $6 million in cash and jewelry. Most of the homes have very sophisticated alarm systems.
Lieutenant Warner says the victims are typically elderly and very wealthy. The robbers, at least 2 men who wear ski masks and dress in black, are well prepared for their break-ins.
In some cases, they know the people by name and have mentioned that. They've mentioned specific items of jewelry that they're looking for, specific locations of safes or alarm systems on the houses.
But the strangest thing about these robbers is the way they have treated most of their victims.
Generally, they've been very considerate of the welfare of the victims, probably because of their ages. Made the victim a drink of bourbon and Coke and lit a cigarette for her.
Mary Ellen and Gerald Jennings were home watching television when these so-called gentleman bandits walked into their home through an open screen door and marched straight into their living room. One man carried an Uzi, the other a handgun. The couple, married for 60 years, was terrified.
And when he come over and poked me in the chest and says, "This is for real, this is a holdup," well, then I said to the wife, "Honey, do anything that they ask you to. This is for real."
We thought, of course, they were going to kill us. I felt when they tied me up, I could feel the bullets going through me. I was so sure they were going to shoot us.
One man held them at gun and knife point while the other ransacked the house for 3.5 hours.
And at the last minute, they came in and asked the wife, "Where is your large diamond?"
The armed bandits made off with nearly $250,000 in jewelry and cash. But before they left, they let Mary Ellen kiss her 7-carat diamond wedding ring goodbye.
We don't have to have that.
No.
We don't have to have a 7-carat.
We were really not heartbroken. After you go through this thing, you're so glad to get out with your life that you decide the material things are really not worth it.
It is still painful for CeCe Doan to return to the scene of her crime.
I don't think I could go in. I'm not ready to do that.
Thankfully, she and her husband, like all of the other victims, escaped physical injury, but the emotional wounds will stay with them a long time. She has learned it doesn't matter how rich you are, where you are, or even who you are. She feels no one is safe.
Why wouldn't happen to a former, Miss Arizona? All of our lives don't go on as rosy little storybook fantasies because we walk the runway in Atlantic City.
Well, the police need your help in this case, and all calls will be kept confidential. The number is 602-261-8600. That's 602-261-8600. Plenty more on tap today. We'll update you on one of the most touching stories we've ever done. 2 little kids get a miracle. And later, here come the Hollywood brides. Some big names get married.
You desire to be married to each other today?
Thank goodness. All right, y'all can.
Putting a Culligan drinking water system into your kitchen is simple and almost this easy. All you have to do is pick up your phone and call your Culligan man. A Culligan drinking water system can deliver gallons of clear, fresh-tasting water into your home every day to help make everything you make with water better tasting. And it's all as close as your phone when you call Culligan. Let your Culligan man or lady tell you how Culligan's H83 AquaClear became the first drinking water system certified by the National Sanitation Foundation for its high reduction of matter that affects the taste and quality of drinking water. Right now, purchase or lease a Culligan drinking water system and basic installation is just $10. For offices, apartments, and vacation homes, use your phone and ask about Culligan's money-saving offer for new bottled water customers, too. Whatever your drinking water needs, call toll-free 333-6603.
Hey, Culligan man!
Call your Culligan man now.
Every morning the sun comes up. That's one thing you can count on. And I'll tell you another thing you can count on. It's tough to lose weight all by yourself. That's what's wonderful about Weight Watchers. At your first Weight Watchers meeting, you'll find all the support you need, and you'll discover that Weight Watchers really works. I know. I've lost 16 pounds already.
Join now and pay only $20 registration and first week's fee. Call today in Orlando, 841-4971, or toll free 1-800-432-9292.
There are prime rib days and meatloaf days. That's how you make a week, and something we care about at Albertsons. Because even on the days when you don't get the fancy cut, you should still get the best quality. And advice if you want that. In short, the best we have to give and an honest low price every day. Albertsons, it's your store.
Todd and Bradley Jones are two little boys who could not hear. We first introduced them to you last October, and the response was incredible. The story revolves around a miracle that Todd and Bradley received, and we thought you'd like to know how they're doing. Scott Rappaport with an update.
They are as special as two little boys can be. Bright-eyed, beautiful, incredibly energetic children.
Shoot it, Brad! Shoot it, Bradley!
4-year-old Bradley Jones of Jacksonville, Florida. And 6-year-old Todd, his older brother, the big wheel. They are as close as brothers can be, inseparable, not only by choice, but by necessity. For Bradley and Todd share a bond few would suspect just by looking at them.
Essentially, they have no usable hearing. They are deaf children.
Though surrounded by a symphony of sounds, they've never heard the laughter around them or the sound of their special pals or the voice of their mother.
Finish your breakfast.
The boys speak a language of fingers and hands. Their deafness makes them unable to talk.
It has been this way for the boys since birth. There is no medical explanation. No one, including their mother Angela, can say why.
Breaks your heart.
And though Bradley and Todd cannot hear, they can feel, and it hurts them.
How do other kids treat you?
They fight with me.
Are you sad?
Yes. Yes.
Ironically, doctors have developed an incredible invention that can help young deaf children like Bradley and Todd to hear. It's called a cochlear implant, where a tiny wire with 22 channels or electrodes is threaded through the inner ear. With the help of a speech processor, the electrodes stimulate nerve fibers in the ear, resulting in hearing. A minor operation with only minor risk, but one major problem for Bradley and Todd.
We needed $40,000 apiece for them.
The operation for both boys would cost $80,000, money that Angela and her husband Steve, a logger, would never have.
But something astonishing was in store for Bradley and Todd, something they never could have imagined. In a surprising change in policy, Medicaid determined it would cover the cost of the boys' operation, pay for it in full. And for Todd and Bradley, a chance to hear all the things little boys yearn for.
I'm Batman. Batman?
Yes, Batman.
And for their emotional mom, perhaps the moment she's always dreamed of.
More than anything, what do you want?
For them to call me Mom. because I don't know what it's like.
The making of the miracle begins at Shands Hospital in Gainesville, Florida, where doctors will surgically insert that tiny wire we were telling you about into the boy's ear. If that goes well, they can be hooked up for sound in a month. Any problems and their dreams of hearing are over. For Todd, the operation is a little scary. For little Bradley, it is terrifying. The boys are wheeled off to surgery. Step one in the healing process has begun. The children's father, Steve, joins Angela in the waiting room, comforted by his faith. It has gotten them this far. The boys' grandparents are close by. Then, after 3 hours, they get the news.
Yeah, it went great.
A special moment for Grandma and Grandpa. A special moment for Dad.
Oh, that here.
Still, with such complicated surgery, there are no guarantees Bradley or Todd will ever hear a word. On a warm Florida morning 1 month later, with his mom by his side, doctors slipped a small hearing device over Todd Jones' ear and connected it to a small speech processor on his back. He was now what they called hooked up, but would it work? Would he be able to hear? After literally waiting for this moment all their lives, Todd and his entire family were about to find out. The first voice he would hear would be his mom, Angela.
Todd. Todd.
His tears and screams are both heartbreaking and beautiful. Todd Jones is hearing for the very first time.
Yes, remember that he's never heard before.
The doctor says this is a normal reaction among children and that Todd is not in pain.
It's fright. I mean, it's not hurting him. He's scared.
But within minutes, the fear is gone. And 1 week later, a miracle for Bradley.
Mama. Mama.
No, he can't say mama yet, but in one day, a little boy has discovered his mother's voice and joy of music, and it's beautiful. That was 8 months ago.
Hey, how are you?
Today, Bradley and Todd have come a long way.
Can you hear me?
The answer is yes, and their mom says the boys are becoming more acclimated to the sounds around them every day.
Can you say Todd?
And slowly but surely, they are learning how to speak, bringing Angela one step closer to her dream of hearing her boys call her Mama.
What's my name?
Papa.
It's going excellently, because it's a lot more than they could say before.
Angela says it'll be a couple years before the boys show significant speech improvement, but they are learning and happy and hearing.
It's a miracle.
Of course, we're all very happy everything is going so well for the boys. Their speech therapy sessions are increasing, and we will keep monitoring their progress. Coming next, romance is in the air, the Hollywood air.
That's good.
One thing, as you know for sure, she's in lingerie for the honeymoon.
Travel arranged through Continental. One airline can make a difference. Surfing destinations around Mexico than US airline. That's the difference on Continental.
On Wednesday, dressed like a priest, he swindled banks out of thousands. Now, Inside Edition shows you how cops nabbed a collared con man.
Testimonial from a Ross shopper.
Ross has incredible prices. It's too bad they can't say the brands on TV. But I'll show you the labels. Look at the label on this dress. Department stores charge a fortune for this brand. Never knew Ross carried this designer label, huh?
We told you, you can't show the labels on TV.
I'm not supposed to show the labels. Okay, you've seen enough. If you want to see more, just go to Ross.
If you're not shopping at Ross, shouldn't you be?
It's here, Florida. The furniture sale you waited for. Spring break at Rooms to Go. The ultimate clearance sale. with super low spring price breaks, even lower than our everyday low prices. Rooms to go, your favorite styles, an incredible selection of overstocks, discontinued items, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Yours for less, yours in a week delivered guarantee. That's the spring break clearance sale, now from Tuesday, only at Rooms to Go.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan, Collin & Gilbert. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, remember 3 things. Don't speak to the adjuster from the insurance company. They don't represent you. It's your constitutional right to bring a claim for personal injury. Don't guess about what benefits you're entitled to. Your family's welfare is too important. At Morgan, Collin & Gilbert, we only represent injured persons, and we're proud of that fact.
You don't get to be America's best-selling small car by thinking small. There are some pretty big ideas behind Ford Escort's success, like value. You can lease your choice of 4 Escorts for only $179 a month, and they're loaded with standard driver's side airbag, air conditioning, AM, FM, stereo, cassette, and more. $179 a month for all that. Now that's a big deal. Hurry, see all the great deals and save at your local Southern Ford dealer.
Getting married in Hollywood is a bit like driving at Indianapolis, very high risk. And just today, Roseanne Arnold filed for divorce. But over the weekend, a number of stars got hitched, proving love and hope spring eternal. Tony Cox with our story.
And you thought your wedding videos were embarrassing. Dudley Moore was feeling no pain on his big day. Whoa, ease up on the bubbly, Dudley. Moore was only one of 3 celeb weddings over the weekend. Also tying the knot were piano man Harry Connick Jr. and his fiancée of 2 years, former Victoria's Secret model Jill Goodacre.
She's from Colorado. She's kind of an athlete. Very pretty girl with a phenomenal body.
The couple paraded through New Orleans' French Quarter in a horse-drawn carriage after exchanging vows in front of Carol Burnett and 300 other guests.
One thing is we know for sure, she certainly has enough lingerie for the honeymoon.
Beverly Hills 90210 star Jenny Garth also became a bride. She walked down the aisle with her boyfriend of 3 years, Los Angeles musician Dan Clark.
Is there a prenuptial agreement?
But Dudley Moore's affair definitely takes the wedding cake. 58-year-old Moore, saying I do for the 4th time, married 30-year-old mother of 2, Nicole Rothschild, at his Marina Del Rey, California home. In his wedding video, Moore looks an awful lot like his tipsy millionaire character, Arthur.
I'm Arthur Bach, the groom.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, and to you too.
Why is this marriage going to work when the others didn't?
I don't know. Why did we choose today?
Yeah.
Actually, why did we choose today?
You desire to be married to each other today?
After getting an early start on the champagne, Moore giggled through the 10-minute civil ceremony, and then, when he and his bride went for a playful romp on the beach, well, Moore's wedding proves that love can conquer anything. It was just last month that Nicole called the cops claiming she was the victim of a domestic assault. Moore was charged with spousal abuse and was released on $50,000 bail. The charges were later dropped.
He was appalled at the negative publicity he got. This was the only way he could solve his problems and cure that bad reputation.
Moore confirmed to reporters that he has bought his new bride a $2 million home, half a mile away from his, in case his wedded life is less than blissful.
What are you going to do with the other house? What am I going to do with the other house? I don't know.
When he can't take it, he's going to go over there, or I will.
We're going to wait for each other. Yeah. Yes. Very good.
Dudley Moore and Nicole Rothschild have known each other for 12 years, since she was 18. Reportedly, they met when he flagged her down from his Bentley as she drove along an LA street. Well, it's better than the personal ads. And Inside Edition will be right back.
Sense, choose new Maxwell House Filter Pack Singles. The fresh brewed taste of Maxwell House coffee, one cup at a time. Filter Pack Singles. New from Maxwell House.
Come to the Sears Day sale. Right now, Bridgestone Road Handler tires are on sale at our lowest prices of the year. You can save $24 to $44 on a set of 4. So roll on into the Sears Tire and Auto Center and grab the savings.
Here's something different, sweetie.
Constantly switching your dog's food can sometimes lead to finicky eating behavior. So feed your dog a consistent diet. Purina Dog Chow every day.
It's almost summer, and if you're not as cool and comfortable in your car as you'd like to be, then you'd better see Ice Cold Auto Air. Our factory-trained specialists have been providing environmentally safe service to our customers for over 30 years. At Ice Cold Auto Air, you get prompt service without the hassle. Plus, we use AC Delco parts, which help your system run better and last longer. So before the heat gets to you, stop by one of our 5 Central Florida locations. Trust the professionals at Ice Cold Auto Air and quality AC Delco parts to keep you feeling cool.
When I get home first, I like to cook dinner. I don't like to find bugs in the kitchen. So when I did, I called Sears Once a Year Pest Control. They're real convenient for us. No monthly visits, no smelly sprays. They put these special baits in out-of-the-way places behind cabinets and between walls, and if the bugs come back anytime during the year, so will Sears.
Hey, handsome. What's cooking?
Sears Once a Year Pest Control. It really works.
I promise, Mom. No drinking.
The Nationwide Insurance Prom Promise, because some promises should be kept for life.
And here's what's upcoming on Inside Edition.
Please bring us our daughter back.
America is watching a true life mystery.
We are living through every parent's nightmare.
A bright, responsible 19-year-old takes a lunch break from work and simply disappears. Without a clue, without a trace.
We may not know what happened.
Inside Edition joins in a desperate search. What happened to Shannon?
We'll find out tomorrow. And finally today, on our last broadcast, we did a story on Danny Bonaducci boxing Donny Osmond for charity. Danny won. And we also told you that Bonaducci would wrestle Chris Knight, Peter from the Brady Bunch. Well, that match has now taken place and Bonaducci pinned Knight. 5,000 people paid money to watch that, and thousands more watched on pay-per-view. And this was not for charity. Bonaducci says he is challenging all former childhood stars. I'm putting my money on Rin Tin Tin. And that is it for us today. You have a good attention. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow are the last 2 days to take advantage of spring break at Rooms to Go. Your last chance for unbeatable spring clearance prices in every department. Remember, Rooms to Go not only offers the lowest prices, we give you fashion. Exciting new furniture styles every season. So overstocks, discontinued items, and one-of-a-kinds must go to clear the way for the new spring arrivals. The result? Price breaks well below our everyday low prices. That's the spring break clearance today and tomorrow until midnight at Rooms to Go.
What does it take to be a hero these days? How about a can of peas? That's right, peas. Bring in a canned good to a participating Subway on Sunday, April 24th between 3 and 4:30 and get a free 6-inch sub. Come on, peas, join us.